4-man mosh pit followed by a tomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're gonna follow up, and they're gonna get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's gonna be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead!
G'day. Welcome to another The Line Bus stream with me at more Nexus Gaming Series casts. If you're looking at the screen, you're going, House of Chez, TRSG Undead. Didn't you do that yesterday? The answer is, I did. But it all disappeared. So I said I'd redo it as, goddamn, I'm going to get this done and get it submitted no matter what. So we do have House of Chez facing off against TRSG Undead in Division B East. We have Ultrac Pass and Infernal Shrines banned out by House of Chez, and TRSG banned out, Braxis Holdout, and Battlefield of Eternity. And I'm still going to try give this my kind of best cast I can, despite me knowing kind of exactly what happens. So I'm going to do it. We'll just get into it now and see how everything... Well, I guess if people weren't here, they'll see how everything goes. So let me get on into it. So, on the left-hand side of House of Chez, we have Mariner 005 on ETC, Flash on the Lunara, the Dude is on Greymane, Caribou on the Anduin, and Peels on Peels is on the Joanna. And on the right-hand side, we do have Nor on the Felstar, Charlemagne is on the Hogger, Cheer Glue on the Muradin, Butte Holiday on the Stukov, and Pink Blackout is on the Li Ming. That's what it's called. Li Ming.
1. Well, what are you waiting for?
We're going to give a nice little brawl at the front of the match. Everyone's going to hold out. We do see Mariners getting a W onto Cheer Glue. Getting a little bit of a boot, a little bit of damage, but Mariners is taking more in process. Cheer Glue hits, but gets hit with a flask in the back of the head by the Dude. Peels on Peels taking a decent amount of damage, steps up, doesn't quite get a stun on anyone, but gets the wave itself. Meanwhile, we do see a lot of damage is coming out from TRSG Undead. We do see that as a Joe stuck in silence. She goes, pops the Iron Skin, tries to get out, but doesn't quite, as the Orb just manages to somehow get through everyone else and find the Joanna. Unlucky if you're her. I guess going back on it, now I'm not kind of knowing what happens, I can have a little bit more of a breakdown. Almost borderline more a kind of review than a cast itself, but I will just still try cast it because we do see Nor and Mariners are stacking out, and I do know that Nor is that dishonorable discharge, which you don't usually see picked up. You usually see kind of almost anything else picked up, in fact. Typically you see Q picked up or auto attack picked up. Also, Greymane and Anduin have started their camp. Their Bruiser camp. We can see, meanwhile, Stukov and, oh my god, I nearly called this Jaina. Li Ming has started their own siege camp. You know, we can see Cheer Glue and Charlemagne just running through the jungle, ready to rumble. And then we do see, again, Nora is just stacking slowly. Mariners misses a slide. Nor puts a W on Mariners immediately. Mariners not actually able to slide out of range now, so that's another 2 easier stacks for Nor. Hogger is going to be starting the Bruiser camp. Hog spinning through it. We do see him go a little bit weird of a bounce. Doesn't quite get where he needs. But it doesn't leash it per se. It's not terrible. And we see the Dude is going to do that siege camp. Stukov and Cheer Glue have been left alone to try to stop this camp mid. Not exactly the best wave clearers, especially when Joanna is blinding people such as Stukov with those meaty auto attacks, not quite finding anything. Cheer Glue taking a decent amount of damage and having to use jump to get out. Butte Holiday dropping the silence, but will not be able to get anyone with it, as everyone did kind of just back up as that's happening. Keep in mind, the same amount of stacks for the Felstar still. How's this fight going down here? I don't really look at this too much. Flash and Pink Blackout. I didn't see kind of how their fight went. I guess Li Ming can do pretty well into Flash if they hit their orbs, but they'll hit their orbs and, I guess, magic missiles, so their abilities. There's probably a better way to say that, but I guess Flash does better in general as long as they can get auto attacks onto Pink Blackout. That poison just does add up quite a bit. We can see there's a rotation for a little bit of gank here. We see PS and PS hit into a wall. We do see Iron Skin is popped. Meanwhile, Mariners is on a flank. We see a slide coming out to Butte Holiday and the Greymane jumping in on them as well. We see that Stukov trying to escape very low. Does actually manage to do so. Meanwhile, Charlemagne and Cheerglue are in a bit more of danger as well. They're stuck in spot. Peels and Peels gets that with a nice orb. We do see Mariners getting chased down. Keep in mind, Felstad wasn't with them in the fight. They were just top, still getting soaked. Just trying to get sevens, but no, it was going well for them. Also, hi Ektar. Welcome to the my footage corrupted, so I'm redoing the cast. Cast. Am I on delay still? Oh my god, I am. Ugh. Yeah, after this one, I'm going to put myself off delay and go back to just casting normally, so I'm just going to make a note of that. We do see stun coming out onto Lunara. Flash gets hit with the back of the head with a hammer. We do see now Cheerglue is stepping up, wants to get a hammer onto the dude. Nope, maybe not. Playing a little bit safe. We do see Wave is going down. How's it going back up here? Nor gets slapped out. Mariners doesn't actually break for Lightning. Lightning getting quite a few stacks. But going back down bottom, we do see that is going to be a very dead deer. Unfortunately for Lunara, yeah, sure, she may do well into Pink Blackout. Into Leeming, I should say, without... Well, in 1v1, when everyone else joins in, it gets a little bit harder. And I'm annoyed that I have delay on as well. That's really frustrating. We do see the dude is getting chased. I thought it was Dahaka for a brief moment. I just like briefly glanced at it, looked like, wait, that's a weird looking Dahaka. It's a very fairy Dahaka. We can now see Peels on Peels does go on to Charlemagne and Cheerglue trying to get a spin through. We do see a hit going out. We see Charlemagne is going to try to get what damage they can on them. We see them now backing out to the objective. Jumping on top of Flash. Flash getting hit with a hammer to follow up. Then we see Hogger spinning straight through. Not quite finding a wall, so just really going straight through. Meanwhile, we see Cheerglue is getting relatively low, has to spread heal. But does have Butte coming in to heal them. Does get that heal on them. Flash pushing up, wants to get Butte Holiday. At least cancel the channel. Peels and Peels very much the same thing, but taking a decent amount of damage in the process. We can now see that she is being forced out. Charlemagne getting sold. Oh, we see Nor flying on in. Gets W straight onto Peels and Peels. Peels and Peels now in danger. And will be them going down. Meanwhile, ETC was just soaking top and wasn't able to really get in with anything. I know what you mean, Ictor, yeah. I really need to get like a post-it note on my like computer saying, if live, do this. If not, do this. I have a piece of paper on my desk. I'm just going to put it on that. But we can see now a boss play is coming out for the side of House of Chez. But yeah, this just means I'm going to have to wait until after I've done this series to kind of stop stream, go back on, cast more replays. Just because I do like having that immediate interaction with chat. I don't like having such a delay such as this. It feels a little bit, it definitely feels less responsive and less connected with the audience, which I guess is alright when you're casting them live and you do need that 30-second delay. But when you're in this situation where you are just wanting to talk and see kind of where you go, it's not as ideal to say the least. You know, we can see Boss Invade coming out from the side of House of Chez. They're like, actually, yeah, let's get that boss. We want it for ourselves. Live. Equals delay. Cheerglue does find Fort. Meanwhile, we can see bottom Fort goes down the boss. We're going to roll down as Peels and Peels does get Light Bomb. Nice triple stun on Joanna. Pink Blackout getting relatively low. And I remember in the interview, they did say they were looking at this Light Bomb falling sword combo, and I don't recall seeing it too much. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Nice roll by Nor, getting to safety. Peels and Peels, however, in the backline taking a lot of damage. Gust saving them there from Nor once again. Just, that was for like the one frustration I saw last time. That's very unfortunate. Peels and Peels gets to live. However, Mariners not afforded the same nicety and will go down themselves. Live equals delay. Replays equals
Gather tribute.
no delay.
That's my curse. The choice is simple.
I'll get post-it notes later. I'm going out later. I've just written on a piece of paper that I'm pretty sure it's just like a receipt. But yeah, it was a risky play indeed, and it will be the side of House of Chez. Just losing one member there, which really with how that fight was going, they're lucky it wasn't more. But that Gust, a bit unfortunate on Nor's side, but it does happen. I think anyone who's played Felstad has saved someone in Gust inadvertently at some point in their HOTS career. Meanwhile, we do have Curse coming up. This is the third Curse for the side of House of Chess, and only this... Well, this will be the third Curse for the House of Chess, so very much TRSG Undead needs to get this themselves and keep House of Chess out of it. If they do manage to pick it up, then that will be all safely done. Right. Next Curse. Next objective picked up no matter which team will be cursed, so that may be a fun one to see how that one goes. But we're getting pretty safe plays so far. Top is nearly down to boss. Will it actually fall? Yeah, it will. Next order. Yep. So this very much balances out the lanes. Like, yeah, sure, you got to keep an eye on bottom if you're TRSG Undead. But if you're now the side of the aggressive side for Mariners into the team without his backup, actually, and we do see a few talents picked up now as 13s are through for both teams. I'm just going to open this up. Nor looking to gust in, finds both the frontliners. Mariners sliding through. Not quite going for the mosh, which I thought they would there. But I guess there are quite a few interrupts here. We have Hammer, we have Silence. Light Bomb hitting just for Hogger. A little bit of, I think, anti-Sentiveras. I think there was a knockback. I think ETC pushed his W and everyone was pushed away, so to speak. But yeah, again, we're not getting that Light Bomb falling sword, which I know they said was a combo they were looking for. Nice mosh by ETC, finally Ming. We do see a lot of interrupts coming on him, though. And that is a dead cow. And we do see now Flash double hopping does get out. We do see Cheer Glue does get hit with Go for Throat. However, Go for Throat not reset. They weren't quite at that kill percent. I guess Butte Holiday must have barely gotten the heal onto them. Speaking about heal onto them, Pink Blackout definitely needs one on them. And we can see that Cheer Glue, Charlemagne is doing a lot as well. Once again, I think I missed it last time as well. Greymane went down. We see Joanna went down. And we see Flash soon to follow. And this is where I mentioned last time that if we're House of Chess, what do we expect at 20? And I kind of alluded, oh, I wonder what it's going to be. And I very much, in my head, because I didn't want to say it out loud, because obviously, if someone's listening even 30 seconds, you're probably going to get level 20s after you get those, after 30 seconds, especially if you're only 14. I expected Death Mosh, Death Metal, whatever it's called. I think it's Death Metal. And yeah, it was the one picked up, because considering how these fights are going, it really is a lot of aggro going in on both the tanks, and ETC definitely has been punished a few times more than they may would have liked to. That in terms of heroics, we see Leaping Strike Lunar, we see Mosh ETC, Falling Sword Joe, which unstop on top of people can be nice. Light Bomb Animal, but we haven't seen that Light Bomb Falling Sword combo just yet. Nor flies quite aggressively. We do see PS on PS, the second bat line does complete Subdue there. We do see there's Light Bomb coming out. Light Bomb hit did go off, but Falling Sword came out afterwards, so it didn't quite find anyone with that initial Light Bomb, but still Falling Sword did at least still hit. Yep, but we also see Go for Greymane is the last thing to round out the side of House of Chess. On the other side, we just see Avatar Mirrodin, Wave Force Li Ming, Shockwave on the Hogger, Flailing Swipe Sukov, and Gust on the Falstad, who is going that full lightning build. Again, not something you picked very often. I'd hazard a guess that if I looked at the stats for NGS, it's actually one of the least picked talents on his part. Let's have a look. Hero's profile. I'm more inclined to do this when I'm not doing it live, so to speak. We can see now there is a rotation down. They will get scouted by vision, which it does happen. It is unfortunate. We can see now Butte Holiday does start objective. I don't know how well they're wanting to commit to this, however. As we can now see the side of House of Chess is rolling in. Bit risky to keep boss going, and yep, they do leash it at the faintest hint of people starting to step up. I'm nearly looking at the false start. We're nearly there. We see now Peels and Peels does find Charlemagne, doesn't quite get the mind of him. Meanwhile, I do like that TRSG Undead with that kind of lull does get it. Yes, actually, Dishonorable Discharge is the least picked by the most. Nice gust onto Mariners. Mariners now in danger, taking decent amount of damage. We see stun coming out of him. I think that was, no, it wasn't quite Mosh cancelled. We see Falling Sword coming out and Peels getting a nice knockback. And we see Pink Blackout peeling for Healer and Nor, or Butte Holiday and Nor with that Wave of Force. Give him a little bit longer. Nice hit by Charlemagne, getting flashed into the wall. Good route by Butte Holiday, just getting that. I thought there's two Summit Circles there, but no, it was Hogger's easy for a Dynamite. I was very confused for a brief moment. Yeah, the Dishonorable Discharge was played in only 13 games currently, compared to the 220 odd that Felstart has been in. We can see that the dude is taking a decent amount of damage from Nor. Nor, however, running out of mana, so won't be able to stay around too long. We can see, actually, in general, we're starting to run out of resources on the side of TRSG Undead. Now, it looks like we're just going to get a general boss trade here, which, yeah, it's for safe play. Like, we got one team bot, one team top. And fortunately for TRSG Undead, they do not have to go as far as House of Chez to get the next objective, especially because it isn't quite cursed for them, but it will be cursed for House of Chez if they get it. Yep, boss taken. Boss both taken at roughly the same time. Out of my shoulder. And we're now just swarming around the objective. Retake it. And we're getting quite aggressive positioning from the side of TRSG Undead. They want to really make sure that House of Chez can't even step in. And we see Chair Glue melts that Sentinel Wisp. And they'll go and get it. Right, I'm just going to have to rest my left arm because apparently that is hurting again. Thank you, base. Shoulder injury. But both bosses are pushing. Both teams have a win condition in their boss lanes at this point, being just one keep down still. Nothing I can cast today, that's unfortunate. We can see bosses being doing. Oh man, it's October already for me. Sorry, it just. Every now and again, I've kind of lost track of time while I've been off of work due to being injured. Because I can't. Like, typing is quite difficult for me currently. If I try move my arm too much, my shoulder gets very sore, and that's why I have a painkiller. My desk deal with that. And yeah, like. So it's about to get a little bit rougher in terms of camera work and showing stats and such, because, well, I'm basically using one arm at this point, and it's less than ideal, but it is not the end of the world, as I can still do it, as I'm just going to move this back down here. Nor we see flies over wall, just a little bit of roll. They're not wanting to quite rotate through the dangerous way. We see Butte Holiday consider starting objective, but Flash basically goes up and hugs them just for Butte to go, maybe not do, maybe I don't want to do that today. Did I pick up Ivory? No. We just see a lot of damage coming out. Mariner's helping clear that wave. As it's interesting, usually with the ETC build, we see the damage talent picked up at 7, but we see Echo Pedal this time from ETC, which definitely helps his wave clear, which you kind of need in this situation? Place? I don't know. We do see that. We're just getting a lot of abilities straight up, not much happening. We see Mariners is taking the most. Wow, Rocky, you rude. We do see a lot of damage coming out onto Mariners, but that's because Nor is just trying to get stacks. Still, we're about halfway done the quest, 45, which I somehow remembered saying last time. Nice stun onto Mariners. We see PLs and PLs finally getting onto the back line of TRSG Undead, but won't be able to quite find anything with it. They are going to do their best with it. Nice avatar for Mirrodin. They are still going down relatively quickly. The dude backing up as well. Mariners gets a nice slide. Here comes a Mosh. They find only one. However, Li Ming does stop it. And we see Falling Sword coming in. No light bomb for it. Chair Glue does need to jump out. PLs and PLs, however, getting relatively low. The dude in an awkward position as well. Not quite where you want to be if you're Greyman. Does take out Falstart on way out, but does go down themselves. We see the cleanup is now coming through. Once Li Ming gets those resets, they will basically just be able to help wipe the floors just quickly, getting a lot of damage out in a very small amount of time. Right. Charlemagne now stepping up to the lane. And I wonder if... Now this is where I went, what if they could end here? This is something that kind of threw me off last time, where they did just run it down. Like, they didn't quite want to run it down because they see ETCs coming up. They don't even go for the other keep. They just open up mid. And this is where I'm like, was that really nuts? I guess, like, yeah, Nor is down. That's a lot of their siege damage, especially if W can just kind of shred things at the moment. But I guess it's not the end of the world. ETC doesn't quite want to go in there. They realize that may be a dangerous, dumb idea. Nice root by Butte Holiday. We see Chair Glue with that Dwarf launch getting directly on top of ETC. ETC going low, going down before they can even do anything. We see that there are those Storm Talents picked up by the Sun TRSG Undead, as we do see that Controlled Chaos slap coming up by Butte Holiday. We also have Gust Felstard, Hogger no control, Li Ming repulsion, and rewind on Mirrodin. We see jump going out to flash, however, pull was there for Anduin, and that is a few combos now missed by the side of House of Chez due to that pull. But we can see objective is picked up by them. And we're going to get pushing into the keep now. Keep in mind, ETC is still down, even though Mosh is up. We see Nor going in. Here comes a wind tunnel. Unfortunately, a bit too aggressive. Doesn't quite find anything. Only finds the dude as they dive in after them. However, the dude will still be pulled out by Anduin, not punished for them. But Nor did go down. Unfortunately, a little bit too aggressive on the... A little bit too aggressive on the flight. But sometimes that does happen. The wave is now killed. Is now cleared. I don't think by any means that they can end. They're getting what damage they can, but this is a risky play now that you're down even just one hero. In saying that, that is a very dead Lunara. Stukov goes down in the process. Charlemagne stops the light bomb from hitting anyone with that shockwave. There's no falling sword to go with it, but that is all she wrote for that fight. Being a 1 for 2, 2 for 1 in favor of House of Chez. Right, I know what's coming up, which is really unfortunate. It's not going to happen for a little bit, but it is going to come up soon enough. We can now see there are control of the lanes, and that is going to just kind of boss being called, which I do like. We see bottom boss also being called by the side of House of Chez. So boss trade once again, pretty standard safe. What the hell was that? Pretty standard safe plays for the most part. So yeah, not the end of the world. But we can see now, everyone's just about back up. Objective is going to be pretty close to boss and should be called in about 30, 40 seconds or so. Yeah, roughly at the 2020 mark, I'd say. 2022 maybe. You can see Lunara is going to defend boss top. We can see the side of TRSG Undead is going to meet the House of Chez's boss bot early, mid. My words are failing me today if it's not noticeable. But we can see now boss is going down. We see Cheglu, Nor, and Butte Holiday having to back out. Charlemagne here to help as well. You can see, oh, never mind, 2022 is boss. You can see now boss is going to start hitting the core. It won't get past shields, but we'll still get a decent amount. But this boss won't even make it to the keep. Which, yeah, good defense by TRSG Undead and very good defense by House of Chez, really trying to manage these lanes as well as possible. Oh, it's coming. And we do now see that Vision's getting taking top. Flash is getting the siege camp. We're getting just relatively safe plays for the most part. We're getting a gank bush ready. Tribute coming up. I was almost about a whole minute ahead of where I thought it was going to come up. No, we're going to roll over. And actually, yeah, Death Metal was actually picked up. I was right. Even with all those. Because ETC has been getting blown up a little bit. It's good that he has picked that up and kind of moved into it. Then we do see Heaven's Fury, Natural Toxin, Intensifying Toxin, Unleash, Inner Fire, Anduin. Yeah. So 20s fights. We'll see how this goes. I'm going to close this. We do see Peels and Peels going out. We see Mariners is actually going around the long way. We see Unstop used. Mariners going on the side. Here comes Mosh, and here comes the Falling Sword, meaning he can't be cancelled out of it. Despite Hoggo trying to be best. That's 2 members down from the side of TRSG Undead. That's 3 members down. And then we can see Pink Blackout and Charlemagne are being chased. The dude takes a decent amount of damage for trying to chase Pink Blackout. And that is Curse over for the side of House of Chez. We see Leaping is backing out. Does try to get a nice little combo in the bush. However, Flash didn't quite fully chase him through. They waited for to get Vision, get Tank. Which, yeah, it means they played safe. Actually, something was noted that these Sea Giants, someone feel like, oh, those look scary. But I was like, eh, not too concerned with a decent amount of wave there. We can now see Pink Blackout, and Charlemagne is going to try to defend. We see Charlemagne spin through Peels and Mariner, dodging that second encore with his hog spin, and we just went fast enough. See now Charlemagne and Pink Blackout go, okay, we need to go. This is something that we need to hold on for at least another 10 seconds. Now we can see Charlemagne does use no control there while Mariners is trying to best. We see Unstop use 50% going down. We see Peels and Peels finally hitting that Light Bomb Falling Sword. Hits Pink Blackout with a Light Bomb, not Falling Sword, however. We see Wind Tunnel pushes 3 members off, but that will be the first game of the series going over to the House of Chez. GG call by both sides. And let me swap it on over to the game summary screen, so we can quickly go over that. It's not quite the same feeling when you're not doing it live because you don't have that extra end screen. Siege, Greymane had the most, followed by Falstad. And the others, actually, Falstad had the most for TRSG Undead as well. Very similar soak for both Greymane and Hogger, however, with Hogger slightly taking it out. In terms of healing, very close by both Stukov and Adwin. Stukov did do very well at their healing, just edging them out. And on the other hand, we have Lunara and Hogger doing very similar amounts of hero damage, but that Lunara kind of was helped by, kind of was at least slowed down a bit by Stukov with the AoE healing, but at the end of the day, it was the side of House of Chez taking out map number 1. So let me cut it on over to this. We'll mark that. Quit this replay. I think House of Chez picked... Ah, yep, I remember the pick ban order, this one. And we do actually have Garden of Terror coming up second. Corrosive, I know that I've done this already, but again, there's a technical issue. I know it's facing delay, but I'm now redoing it just because I said I'd do it in first place, and I want the teams to still have a cast to go back on. Otherwise, it's not really fair on them that something not on their own fault is the reason that there is going to be a kind of missing game. But we do see Garden of Terror next. We're just opening that up now. I believe it's Garden of Terror next. Yes, indeed it is. So let's jump on over into the game. As on the right side this time, as that's apparently where we're starting with the camera, we have Pink Blackout on the Junkrat, Butte Holiday on Ufa. Love me, Ufa. I was popping off it, so I'm like, yes, it's like, no. I forgot Ufa was here, so I'm very happy. Otherwise, we have Charlemagne on the Dahaka, Nor on Li Ming, and Chair Glue is on the Muradin this time. I like the Ufa pick because it does veer very well into things such as Zeratul, which was picked up by Flash. Also, the dude went Vala. Mariners went Arthas. Peels on Peels went Blaze. And Caribou Anduin. You know, we can see the side of TRSG Undead is immediately going bottom with Dahaka showing mid. So we'll see how that goes. I can't quite remember. I remember a little bit of getting found, but I don't remember how much damage went out. We can see Nor, Pink Blackout doing what damage you can, and Ufa just kind of standing there, axe ready, seeing how it's going to go. The dude does scout bush. Meanwhile, Chairglue hits Blaze with a hammer directly in the back of the head, which will kill most men, but that is a fire bat in all its armored glory, so not going to quite have as many issues as most people. It's saying that the dude does not have a fire bat armor, and actually manages to dodge the Chairglue stun. Doesn't dodge the point and click stun from Ufa, but they do at least get out with their life. Meanwhile, other lanes, we do have Pink Blackout was laning against Anduin for a little bit. Interesting. Meanwhile, Charlemagne is going up to deal with Mariners. Mariners, keep in mind, has gone this kind of Frost Presence build, which is an interesting one to say the least. Spraying a little bit, which I missed. Okay, Chairglue, don't dance. Mariners, don't dance, dude. That's just rude. But I guess no one did say stop during the match from what I saw. So I guess not the end of the world. If they complained and then they kept doing it, that'd be different. But, ooh, Caribou takes it. Now I understand why there is this interaction. I'm going to be honest. As he is licking the dead man once again. Arthur's getting pulled back into the minion wave, taking a little bit of damage, not too much. Meanwhile, we can see camps are getting picked up by the side of House of Chez and TRSG Undead. I think I said one of the interview. I think I messed it up yesterday because we can see that actually relatively even getting them out at the same time, and actually House of Chez are the one. House of Chez are the ones who are getting it out just that little bit quicker. Well, we see Caribou being run down by Pink Blackout. Pink Blackout does get rooted, but does actually manage to escape. Thank you to the Junkrat mine peeling for them. Well, Veron mine peeling for them, I guess. Level 4s are through for both teams. Touching on talents real quick, we do have that Shadow Hunter on Zeratul, Auto Attack Vala, Creative Hunter, which is actually only at 6 stacks, very slow so far for Vala. Otherwise, we have Frost Presence into Frozen Wastes on the Arthas. Both those standard kind of more tanky talents. We see Wave of Light Uther And
The first seed is sprouted. Gather it, would you?
tissue regeneration on the Dahaka. I'm like, what is that? It's not enhanced agility. What is that talent? I only see enhanced agility go, yes, that's correct. But no, I guess I do like just moving around at the speed of sound on Dahaka. The Space Yoshi is the fastest of the characters. We can see the dude doesn't quite get stalled out by this Q. Will get hit with a hammer at the end of it, but really not much else happens. Chez taking decent amount of damage. Jumps out to Mariners. Mariners not quite there to catch anything. We can see now Flash did actually follow Chez thinking of that teleport, the one ability they have, but didn't really want to commit to that, which understandable. You're now without your team a little bit, and you just kind of saw him blink out immediately. I wish my mic arm would stay in the same place. Like, amount I've tried, it's not really working out, but I guess it is close enough to my mouth at least. I'm just gonna sit upright, and it's fixing my posture slowly but surely. You can see now they're considering doing Bruiser Camp, but Feels on Feels very aggressive, finds Chez. Chez finds Feels on Feels, however, as well, of course, in the process, and is going to try and make sure that Blaze cannot step in. But it looks like the side of TRSG Undead are just going to leash for camp. Mariners is getting ran down, but nope, no one will find anything onto them. Nice orb going in by Nor, just hitting the tower, making it a bit more difficult. Peels is a little bit overextended, but there is a Blaze at the end of the day. We see a lot of stuns coming out of him. We do see, however, there is Pyromania used, getting a nice stun, and because of how Dahaka has their W going, Peels can actually just walk straight through them. A lot of people seem to forget that Dahaka isn't really like a solid body when he's doing that. They can just kind of go for anything. Nice tongue onto Vala. Vala getting pulled to safety. We can see Charlemagne actually getting really low. And Chez is letting their passive second wind go off just to kind of get their health back and save Butte Holiday those cooldowns as well. Ufa is a very mana hungry boy, and you don't want to make him go through more mana than he needs to. We can see Paul coming out. Mariners will go down. Chez jumping onto Caribou, getting a nice W. Not quite getting the heavy impact, however, so that will be Caribou getting out. Oh, so I had to stretch. Alright, Bruiser Camp finally being taken by the side of TRSG Undead. Meanwhile, House of Chez are starting on their siege camp once again. The dude just kind of tearing through that. We've got a little fight here. Bottom. Flash not really getting through Chez maybe as well as it would be hoping. Right, but we do see Blaze is getting ran down top. Butte Holiday, do they have another hammer up? No tongue up from Charlemagne either. A bit unfortunate for them because they may have been able to get that kill onto the Blaze if those cooldowns were coming back up in time. But I guess early on, it is a bit harder to secure those kills. Ufa gets very good kind of lockdown at 16 with Benediction. And then Charlemagne didn't quite go it, but tongue cooldown reduction usually does do pretty well into most teams. But even one tongue can get a kill. You don't usually need multiple that quickly. I just preference like the tongue talent. Right, we do see a nice root coming out from Arthas. Tongue used. We do see, however, Caribou does use pull in the process, make sure none of their team goes down. And it's the side of TRSG Undead. Still kind of running the map, so to speak. They kind of are invading now. They're getting the run of it all. And we do see that Muradin does complete that oh so hard to complete quest of Stormbolt at level 0, their baseline talent. Man, I was so afraid they weren't going to get it this time. But I think now, with that, I don't know how, but it seems that every Muradin seems to have gotten that quest complete this season, which, good for them. It's not quite, it's something that you absolutely need. You love that PS, you love to see that PS on Stormbolt, as well as you love to see the... I'm trying to run with my own joke, it's not working out. But you do also love to see the auto attacks get mana back. It just lets them stay in the fight a little bit longer. Well, we can see aggressive rotation from Chez and Butte Holiday. Peels on Peels getting hit with a little bit with a hammer. Does get hit, does get stopped in the trap. So you see that as Desperate Prayer going out. Flash staying very still. Surprised that Chez didn't accidentally reveal them. But I guess it doesn't always get revealed. But I imagine if we do see that kind of Bronzebeard Rage, that may have revealed them there. Or if a W came out, may have... Oh. I love when Muradin just smacks the ground when no one's near. It just looks like he's having a little rage. He's like, damn it. Damn it. No one's near enough for me. Wait, what level 4 did he go? Reverberation, okay. We can now see Flash doesn't quite hit that W, but we do now see that the dude is starting to hand in. Pink Blackout not going to do the same mistake twice, hitting the Junkrat mines onto the channeling hero. We do see stuns coming out onto Peels and Peels. Peels and Peels actually thrown into the backline with it. Nice combustion. D-shield onto Junkrat. Junkrat unable to be stopped from that Riptide. And we can see there's one going down. Will Pink Blackout? Yes, Pink Blackout does indeed find the grenade onto... I can't remember his name. Zero Tool, Caribou dropping a light bomb. We see Charlemagne burrows under it, finds a tongue onto Anduin, and Anduin will go down. Meaning first Web Weaver phase will go over the side of TRSG Undead. And with those few heroes down, it makes it that bit more difficult for House of Chez to defend. Glue getting very aggressive, going straight under fort. And having to back out immediately. We see Blaze is trying to get that damage onto the wave. Glue stepping back up. Flash doing a nice little spinny thing there. And we see now the plants are being... The plant terrors do deactivate those forts of those flowers. We do see a little bit of chase on the Flash. Not the easiest one to catch. Just because Flash can be so fast. We've all seen how the... I believe it's DC Comics are Flash, fastest man alive. And we do see they get out of here relatively easily. Meanwhile, Peels and Peels may not be afforded the same nicety. That... Ah, yep, I remember this now. I said that is a little bit anti-synergistic with that W there, but we do see Tongue coming out from Dahaka, finds Peels and Peels, and that will be them going down, nor securing that kill, with everyone just kind of around the Blaze, like, Blaze, 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 and Blaze will die. Quest complete from Anduin, Anduin, Ufa, I'm just used to saying Holiday and Anduin. I love their Anduin play, they do so well, but I remember from draft, Caribou took Anduin both times, and we do go with it. Hey, can I at least have Anduin? No. We do see that is a light bomb with the Zero Tool going in. Nice combo there. But we do actually see that it is Junkrat going down first, and then Zero Tool goes down. Nor Butte Holiday both getting very low mana, Charlemagne and Glue as well. However, that is Vivala losing another one of her Gambit stacks. We do see Peels and Peels actually getting very aggressive going in. The move speed doing so much for them with that combustion. Kind of that adrenaline stim back is... helps at least nullify combustion's like slow it gives a little bit and helps them stay on top. Well, we do see that it is this next siege camp going down. 16s are nearly through for the side of TRSG Undead. They have a 2-level lead roughly. Well, maybe not a full 2, like 1.5. It's 2 currently, but it's more like 1 3/4, 1.5-ish in terms of the actual difference. Just big number says 2-level difference. Easier maths. Oh. Butte Holiday gets hit by Blaze Stun. It looks like Glue is wanting to find a friend with a hammer. And Charlemagne just wants to tongue someone, which... I guess is a terrible sentiment outside. Dahaka just wants to use their tongue ability to get someone into their team and take them down. That's probably a far better way to phrase that, now that I think about it. Okay, we do have next seed spawning in just a few seconds. Not vital for either team to get it. So TRSG Undead looks like they're just wanting to push instead, and they can indeed. They have these siege giants, and they are tearing these towers apart. Glue getting aggressive, wanting to hammer, but no, just smacks the ground in rage. Like, no one was near enough to me to hammer. I want to hit hammer. Hammer, go. We do see there's a light bomb coming out. Double blink used by Flash, using Might of a Narazim to get on top of everyone. We see Invuln comes out onto Nor getting that damage in. However, Pink Blackout will be the first. Oh, nope. Pink Blackout barely holding on. 160 health. Nope. Will eventually go down to Vala. You see Glue and Charlemagne getting relatively low, and that's actually Ufa going down next. Glue tries jumping out, isn't able to. Charlemagne got that speed from the bushes, but unfortunately they are just... They're not quite enhanced agility, so they're not going to be able to run too far. We see Flash cuts off their escape and will take down the Dahaka. And that is actually a very important fight for House of Chez, because that was... They're down 16s, and they kind of needed that turnaround, so to speak. And with that, they're able to do so. Flash is going to be starting the objective. They are just by themselves, so if Lehman could do something cheeky, maybe they can get a kill. But no, it looks like they are just wanting to do a camp instead. Anduin is going to scout it out, wanting to go, maybe you don't want to do this, bud. Maybe I'm going to deter you. But no, we see Nor just does commit to doing the camp. They're not going to get scared off quite that easily. We obviously the side of House of Chez is going to be sealing TRSG Undead's bottom camp. Glue has figured this out. And we do see that the side of House of Chez is going to be scared off by Mirrodin. Meanwhile, on the other side, at top lane, we see Bruiser Camp picked up by TRSG Undead. Man, I'm tired. I didn't wake up. I'd say I didn't wake up too long. I just had a bad sleep. Sometimes it happens. Bad sleeps will just happen from time to time. We see Caribou is getting chased down in the gank push. If it is... was set up for a brief moment, but they decide, actually, we can't quite give the objective to them again, because that next objective will be bad for us, to say the least. They will get the plant tearers, and we don't quite want that. Mirrodin does throw Hammer and Bush, doesn't quite find Mariner's. Mariner's just out of range, however, is in range of a Leeming Orb. Is in range of another Leeming Orb. Flash was in late range of a Leeming Orb this time. Here we see Mariner's in range of a Leeming Orb. You're kind of getting the gameplay. You're kind of getting the general strategy from Nor right here. And that is a small corridor for a very dead Arthas. And that is a key frontliner down. Yeah, sure, we have both Blaze up still. Or we have Blaze up still for the side of House of Chez. But Arthas is actually pretty tanky, despite me saying he's a discount May in many regards. And this is where Peels and Peels, I actually think, does manage to escape as they do hit the stun. We do see that is Pyromania drop. We do see it is Combustion. Nice pull by Anduin. They get to live. They didn't really do any damage with that Combustion, but the brief slow that was put out by Hit did at least keep them up and running, so to speak. You know, I see Butte Holiday is doing their due diligence, getting this camp. Pink Blackout going to help them. Charlemagne just getting his darker spin on. You can see all those Lego pieces swirling around him. Meanwhile, Peels on Peels takes over half their health and damage. And I do like that we pick up Juggernaut plating. There is a lot of spell damage on the side of TRSG Undead. You have Li Ming, and even Junkrat is a lot more spell damage than not. Sure, they're trap build, which means they're not quite as much as they could be. But those Junkrat grenades still do a very decent amount. Nice charge by Peels on Peels, getting both Glue and Charlemagne. However, both tanks on the side of TRSG Undead managing to dodge the Rain of Vengeance. Riptide comes in, hits 3 members. We see Peels and Peels and Flash getting relatively low. Flash goes down to Mirrodin Hammer backline. If we see Blaze going down in the backline of TRSG Undead. Mariner's getting relatively low, getting chased quickly. Glue does hit in the Hammer. We do see that as a kill. And I think we get an end call here, if I recall correctly. Butte Holiday just pick up C just because they don't want House of Chez to sneak behind them. And yeah, we do now see that the side of... yeah, okay, cool. They'll go on my list. It's not going to be the next one I do, but I will at least put it down on my list. As we see, it is going down. We see Anduin goes down first. Polywolf coming out onto Charlemagne, and that is the second map of the series going over the side of TRSG Undead. Let me just open my notepad that has what games to be casted. Order of casts. But right, let me just swap on over to the game summary screen. As we can see here, in terms of Siege, Leeming had a lot. Almost 40k, 50k ahead of the next person. Meanwhile, we can see they also had top hero damage in the game. So a very good game from Nor. Definitely something that they kind of popped on off about. Well, I can see that they did very well about. To hero damage, Vala had the most of the side of House of Chez, but it was very much the game taken by TRSG Undead this time around. GM versus Phoenix Rising Ruby. I do wonder if I will need a raise for cost of that as I stream more and more, but hard to tell from here. Yeah, in terms of talents, having a look, anything that stands out. Rune Tap. Hold up, give me a moment. I'm just going to quickly mute myself. Sorry about that. Just coming back now. And that nothing stands out too much. Full orb build. Honestly, bit of a surprise, but it did work out for Nor, as we can see there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch him over to map view, and we're going to get the last map of the series, which I believe is yep, I remember it. I remember this one now. We get Dragonshire to round out the series, and I believe it was actually House of Chez picking Dragonshire this time. There we go. There we go. Yep. So a little bit of a pattern there. Nice little pattern. So let's get into the game and see how this one goes. I nearly cut to the wrong screen. Cut. Thank you. Caribou is really just making a lot of chicken sounds over here. Speaking of which, we have Caribou on the Decade. We have Peels on the ETC. Flash. Zul'jin, I believe. Mariner 005 is on Dahaka, which was banned out first. No, flat. What?
5, 4, 3.
Wait, who is that? Who's floating up and down? Yeah, Flash is on. Zul'jin, that looks weird. The dude on Leeming and Peels on Peels is on the ETC, as I said. Then we'll have Charlemagne on Eric, Balog, and Olaf. We have Pink Blackout on the Junkrat. Nor on Vala. Butte Holiday on Anduin, and Chairglue is on Muradin. Again, we see Mariners is popped into the back line. Chairglue getting healed up immediately. I guess I should also note down who requested that. Requested by Hector. Nice slide by Peels on Peels, peeling for the team. We do see you get hit with a decent amount of damage, however Chairglue not able to find the hammer, and that is Peels on Peels. Taking a lot of damage, but it could have been much worse if they were stunned there by Hector. Charlemagne getting hit with all 3 magic missiles. Charlemagne losing Olaf in just a few moments. There it goes. Here we can see Eric and Balog playing pretty safe, and saying that Mariners did find the tongue onto Balog and pulls them in. Butte Holiday and Nor clearing that camp as well as they can, and they will take it over. Junkrat having that concussion mine under it just to make sure that they hold on to it. Make sure that no invade would be successful is probably a better way to put it. Flash is finding Charlemagne. We do see Butte Holiday and Nor going up onto them now. Butte Holiday hitting the root. Flash not able to escape, and that will be the Zul'jin. I keep wanting to call it Vol'jin, which I know is a completely different Warcraft hero. Like, I don't know much about Warcraft. I know Vol'jin and Zul'jin are 2 completely different characters in the series. Can now see Charlemagne is stepping onto both objectives, and Balog is already set up mid. Chairglue pushed in by Peels on Peels. Balog is going to start getting the DK, and that will be the first objective of the game. Going over to the side of TRSG Undead. Very good quick play from the Viking player there of Charlemagne. Yeah, we can see Butte Holiday and Nor actually did work helping tear this open top. We see the DK is now just going to sit in a corner, hitting the towers, hitting Peels on Peels, hitting the dude, you know. Just doing their thing. See it, like, this is where I had an interest, like, this is an interesting path that goes down here. Also, Chairglue nearly went down there. Butte Holiday also taking a decent globe. It's weird seeing it come around here, then go... Actually, wait a minute. Maybe. Yes. No. I don't know. Can you repeat the question? But we do see that is EC getting kicked. Not quite over the wall, but we're using now a Viking needing to run for its life. Chairglue actually very low themselves, taking a decent amount of damage. Nor out of mana. They're probably wanting to back out. Nice slide by Peels and Peels, hitting both Butte Holiday and Chairglue, and that'll be Butte Holiday going out first. Unfortunately, Anduin cannot pull themselves to an enemy hero, which, you know, I want that as like a Anduin thing, just going, come please. Please, I want to go to you. Instead of come to me. But I guess that makes them a little bit too versatile. Make it like share a cooldown with Leap of Faith. Make it call it like the Dear God, please help me button. Where you just push like the 1 key and just go flying, or one of your number keys and go flying to an ally as opposed to bring an ally flying to you. But right, we do see Peels on Peels dodges and have the hammer once again. Is just going to do a little bit of loop-to-loop around Chairglue, which I believe I said last time, which interesting how I say the same things multiple times over and over, but I guess it is generally how people work. They have their own sayings, they have their own catchphrases, and they will say it at almost any given circumstance, to say the least. Well, we can see now that Junkrat is going that full trap build, and actually to look at talents in general, we see that Zul'jin is not even a quarter way. Alright. 15, 8. Yeah, roughly a quarter way through. Like, somewhere around that on the Yuan axe. We're picking up Arcanite axes? Yes, everything is axes. Arcanite axes at level 7 with one whole stack. Nice. Meanwhile, we can see ETC is 11 parts through Prog Rock. Gets very aggressive sliding into the gate, but doesn't get through it. Now we do see the tissue regeneration on Dahaka with that same build that was run by Charlemagne last map. So I guess I must try it out at some point, because if other people in this division are running it, I wonder how well it worked for me. But we can see that it will be the Muradin going down. Fortunately, a little bit too much CC going on in between Peels and Caribou, unable to escape. Meanwhile, we can see Zul'jin and the dude are going to start that bottom camp. Vala is in a fight with Mariners with a little bit of Eric action happening there. Eric is getting involved. He's just got his slingshot out, ready to go. But we can see now that TRSG Undead do take that bottom camp. Peels and Vidude are watching it very closely. Meanwhile, Baylog similarly watching the middle very closely as well. And Eric just struggling a little bit, having a little bit of difficulty going into Mariners. I do wonder how much of a difference there would be this map if we did see something a little less Vikings, or we did see from Vikings Eric's healing talent where he can just run back and forth and honestly go back to full health in a relatively short amount of time, because we do just see him slowly ticking up currently, just with that passive regeneration that Vikings get more and more of when they get globes. And we can see now that bottom was taken by the side of TRSG Undead, just to balance things out and make sure they're not going to lose too much here. Nice medic missile by Leeming, finding Nor. Heroics are through. We see Taz, Dingo, Zul'jin. We see Wave of Force Leeming. I nearly called it Propulsion, which is 20 again. Mosh ETC, but PS is looking like they want it, looking like they need it, but they do not have it. Meanwhile, we can also see Decad not quite choosing yet. The same for, well, we actually see Stay Wellness, and I believe Dahaka chooses Isolation, but we will double check that in a few moments. But we do also see that there's Baylog going down, and Eric is actually soon to follow. Olaf is just standing here. Unfortunately, doesn't get the interrupt in time. We see the wake up is a little bit late. There's a Viking going down, and I believe we do see play again picked up then and actually used in that very moment as all Vikings are up. We do also see Anduin picked up a Light Bomb, Riptide, Junkrat, and Rain of Vengeance Vala as they're going to try to get the damage out into the DK and the rest of the team of House of Chez. We hear the strumming of the guitar as Peels picks up Globe. I'm going to switch on over to here, as we do now see the side of House of Chez pushing in. Nice kick on the Pink Blackout. Pink Blackout goes flying. We see Cheerglue gets healed up. Dragonite stepping up, taking a decent amount of damage. Triangle comes out, not quite going to find anyone, and we can see that Vikings are still trying to soak the other lanes, but Mariners on that Dahaka is making it so difficult for Charlemagne to do that effectively without losing Vikings. Paul coming out to Nor, which I at first said maybe wasn't needed that last series, but now I'm looking at it, Nor would have been hit by a pretty meaty combo from the dude. So actually very good pull by Anduin. Good dodge there, no one getting hit by that globe. Pink Blackout, however, getting hit by all three magic missiles, or arcane, I think magic missiles or arcane missiles. We are wanting number 2. It is indeed magic missiles, good. We see Baylog is going to get ganked. There are just unfortunately a bit too many people going there for Baylog to live through. And we can see now that the side of House of Chez are wanting to do that top camp. Charlemagne is going to set an objective ready to go when that is up. We do see a little bit of a spin, which I imagine is for Olaf to get that extra CJ he so desperately needs, as he isn't really known for his wave clear capability outside of that. Vikings are going to actually be quite up there in terms of Viking bribery, I imagine. Now, yeah, 4 stacks already. Oh my god, I'm not following that camera. That camera is a nightmare to follow. Just watching him just zoom around to each Viking. Bloody hell. I know it gives player perspective when you're following people, but my god, that's a lot. We see Caribou going, yeah, mosh that. Camp. Oh. HC used mosh there? We see Charlemagne uses jump there. And, like, I really need to remember to turn team chat off, don't I? We see Flash is getting what damage they can onto the building. Piers walks up, starts hitting it. Charlemagne doing a little bit of a spin. Nice little spin move he does there. And we actually see that's Olaf going down. And the rest of the 5-man, again, getting a trade here like I mentioned last time. Top goes down, bottom goes down. Relatively fair enough trade. Slide coming through for Peels and Peels. Not quite going to find anything. Does boop another. No, I don't know why I say not quite finding anything. There's no one near. He slides specifically to hit the camp and, well, get extra damage on it. And that is a nice sleep by Caribou. Cheerglue doesn't quite get hit by it, but does walk into a trap. Nice light bomb finding Anduin. However, Flash stops Junkrat dead in their tracks with that net at level 13. You can see Cheerglue is going to try their best to stop Flash getting any kills. Flash getting relatively low. Cheerglue both jumps and gets pulled out by Butte Holiday at the same time. So, a very safe Mirrodin in the end. We do now see that there is 4 Siege Giants all while pushing this bottom gate, getting one of the towers, getting down the actual gate portion, and going to be going down just now. Right. Both objectives are going over to the side of House of Chez. I say both objectives, both points are probably a better way to put it, because objective is still up. No one's victory for Dragon Knight. We see Caribou is a little bit out of position. Does get hit by the stun by Nor. However, we see Weather Force does enough of appeal to keep him alive. Olaf and Baylog doing their best to clear lanes. As we did see Eric spinning in the middle like, yeah! And we would see nice root. We do actually have Mosh back up on Peels and Peels. Peels and Peels maybe looking to get aggressive on it. Mariners finds Tongue. They don't need to go in there. What's the little version of Mariners? Primal Swarm, okay. Light Bomb, yep, Light Bomb Leap, fighting a nice double. However, Cheerglue is now a bit on an island. Riptide getting relatively low. Flash holding on. Cheerglue finding the hammer, meaning they get to live, backing out, and that is the Haka and the Dragon Knight pushing into the fort and kicking North. Trying to kick North for good measure, but doesn't quite squeeze through the fort well enough and slowly jogs at them. Peels and Peels does get pushed into wave, and actually the gate and will go down there. However, Zul'jin finds that snaring net, I think it's called. Ensnare. No, it's just called Ensnare. And finds the kill onto Junkrat. Unfortunately, can't quite escape a route and will go down. Charlemagne and Nor being chased by Flash and the dude, but will get out. There is no tank to kind of hold them down for the team at the moment, and that makes it much easier for TRSG Undead to get away with a few things, like escaping with their lives. That becomes much easier when there's not a cow running at you, ready to play some metal aggressively shred at you, so to speak. Cheerglue taking a decent cleave from those dual cleavers. Zul'jin is done with you on X now, and actually most quests except Anduin's is completed. The only thing that can't be completed is Arcanite Axes, that's infinitely stacking, but even things such as you want Axe, even though it's infinite stacking, does get a damage bonus for further and further up you get. It's just you get those double spinning axes. Isolation used by the Haka doesn't quite find its mark, which in all honesty not the end of the world. You don't really want to take that fight anyway, but it's at least a 60-second cooldown that the side of TRSG Undead knows that, well, House of Chez doesn't have a moment. And yep, there was a pause there as there was a disconnect by, yep, I was going to say the Vikings, I believe, and yep, Charlemagne does appear to be back now. Nice little float by Charlemagne there, getting out of danger, which, fair enough, you don't want to lose yet another Viking. But it's apparently been Viking season, and unfortunately for them, Space Yoshis are a little bit of a natural predator of the Viking. Everyone knows that's how the Zerg-human relationship is. Right. 18 versus 17. We're going to get into, if either team get a good fight, they can end. It's a little bit more effort for TRSG Undead to do so, but if the side of House of Chez get that kill, it can just be all over Red Rover, and that team will go down. Right, Peels and Peels stepping up, seeing if they can... No, they're just going to eat trap. Minus 15 armor, not too bad when you have... Minus 20 armor, not too bad when you can give yourself plus 15? I can't remember how much it is. Yeah, minus 15. You can give yourself 20 to not be in a world. Oh, booped out. So you can kind of nullify trap almost with any of your buttons, particularly your E, that can kind of help balance things out. We see PS stepping up, wanting to get a mosh, but not being allowed. The gate is closed currently. PS gets a nice slide through Cheerglue. We see ensnaring trap. We see Cheerglue being pushed in further. Mosh being used, however, Anduin does pull them out. Does get rooted by the Decade actually herself, but won't go down. She's pretty safe for the most part. And we do actually see Eric will just get blown up in the back line as ETC wanted that kill. Cheerglue is coming in. Also, hi Silverbell, I hope you're doing well today. It is good to see you. I know there is a 30-second delay, and I will actually be briefly stopping stream to get rid of that as I set up the next map and such. And take painkillers because my shoulder. But we do now see that the side is backing out as TRSG and Undead are not wanting to go down here. We can see Mariners is trying to get that DK. Eric does stop top. Charlemagne backing out with Baylog and Olaf. Relatively safe despite being low health. Nice slide by ETC pushing Nor back in. And actually the good thing to note, we actually have speed metal bomb ETC. Meaning they won't have that bigger knockback, but it will be much easier for the cow to get on top of someone. Pink block out. Block out. Blackout getting that Riptide. Hitting a nice free team members there. Side coming out from PS. Cheerglue in danger. Will be taking a lot of their health and damage. Does get a little bit of miscommunication there. But there's Anduin and Cheerglue trying to hold on. But Anduin will go down. Taken out by the Leeming. And Baylog is taken out by... I nearly called it TLV. But no, Baylog was taken out by the Dahaka, I believe. I don't know. I'm bad at remembering what heroes do things. But now we see DK is pushing into middle. We'll take down first tower. We'll take down gate. And the second tower, so opening up gate all the more. And seeing what they can do. We see that it is just a cow and a cow and a dragon. Which we're getting borderline into Shrek territory with a donkey and dragon. But we do now see that Dragon Knight is going to tear Cheerglue apart. And that will be a very dead Muradin. I don't know if we get the end call here. It is going to be still a good 20% on Dragon Knight. 40 seconds left. It looks like they're wanting to step up to the core. They know that there is still members down for a little bit longer. Dragon Knight does breathe its breath onto it. Hits it a couple of times for good measure. Oh, 3 times for good measure. Will go down there. And actually is hit by the tire immediately. And actually Riptide is back. It did go back cooldown. But no, that is actually a very dead Vala. Nice combo by the dude. Peels on Peels does pick up Globe. So gonna, not Globe, but potion. I'm just reading in my head. Potion seller. Sell me your strongest potion. And we can see actually that is Viking finally using at least a couple of stacks of their what's it called? Bribe. And we do actually see Charlemagne just smacks the fort with their stomach. Takes it down. And now we see the side of House of Chez taking both bottom bruiser and top bruiser. Well, bottom bruiser, top left bruiser, while Eric is just trying to push. They're trying to get what value they can. And the top left, right bruiser is found by TRSG Undead. So we're going to get a little bit of balance up here while Eric tries to clear it out. While Baylog tries to clear it out. Eric is ready to fight Mariners. Look at him go. No, I'm not going to zoom in for comedy. We see Cheerglue does have to turn around, not quite wanting to get hit with a bonk stick of Decade. That bonk stick, as we know, is a level 16 stun. With it's a pretty decent stun, a 5-second cooldown with a 0.5 stun. 0.75 stun, yeah. And you can see when it's glowing, that stun is ready. I don't know if it's more exotic per se. I guess Dragon makes it more exotic, but I would not call a cow exotic by any means. I guess a Tauren would be, though, but hard to tell. You see Cheerglue is going to take a decent amount of damage, Leeming, just peppering them with orbs. Oh, Butte Holiday taking a decent shot there as well. We see that pull is going to come out of Cheerglue, getting pulled and Desperate Prayer immediately. Eric does get the jump use. Well, Eric does get the jump use. Bad sentence. We do see Charlemagne uses jump to save Eric, but meanwhile, see Baylog and Olaf, or at least Olaf, going on a brief sojourn top to see if they can at least pester Mariners. Mariners is going to burrow. Where do we burrow to? They're going to see if they can get middle, but it looks like it's going to be stalled by Baylor. See, Baylor was tongued by the way, getting relatively low. Meanwhile, Olaf did take top. Charlemagne trying to run with that Viking. Move speed on Mariners with that level 16, putting it to 125 move speed on Tunneling Claws. It will be VM going down. Meanwhile, Olaf realizes may not be the best place to be, and we see Eric going down. Meanwhile, we see stun coming out from Cheglu. Cheglu mounted while Light Bomb's on him. I didn't realize that can happen. Mosh did get wound up by ETC, but didn't get quite triggered. Cheglu goes to see if it can stop Caribou, but is unable to do so. ETC went Storm Shield this time. There we go. Oh, God, I'm tired. And we see that Dragonite is found by the Zul'jin. Eric tried to stop it, couldn't quite do so. And now we see Dragonite and friends moving down to bottom lane. Cheglu getting a decent boot for their liking. I should have really just gone wee, like an arc as opposed to straight line. I know where they're going. We do now see Charlemagne is getting chased by the Dragonite. Wait, does Zul'jin get stacks like auto attacks on the Dragonite? I have never asked myself this question. I guess not. I guess it would be too hard to tell. I'll notice if the 55 goes up. And actually Dragonite gets chased all the way back to its own fort. But I guess you don't have ETC. You're not wanting to get too aggressive. So it may as well kind of step back such as that. Kick coming out onto Junkrat, being put directly onto the objective area. 40 seconds left on Dragonite, 20% health. If I can see it backing out. Puts out a little bit of fire. And I think they just cancel in the end. No, we'll see. Right, Cheglu and Pink Blackout getting zoned out a little bit by the dude and Caribou. Nice side and peels and peels. I was going to say push it into to Junkrat trap, but no, Junkrat is actually for the other side. Nor actually escapes the kick. Dragonite getting a nice fire breath. 4% left on it, 3% left, and it is going to go down in just a few moments. Nice jump by Olaf, meaning they get to dodge the orb. That's one less Viking dying today. Mariners getting the tongue onto Cheglu. Butte very good with those pulls, manages to pull him out. Nice stun from Olaf, however, we see stuns cancelling out from Peels and Peels. And Cheglu, however, that is Snare coming out. Cheglu taking actually a lot of damage in the process. We do see Light Bomb coming out. Doesn't actually have jump. Uses Rewind a little bit too late. Hits just Zul'jin, but however, that's Cheglu now overextended without an escape. And that was a nice sleep onto both Olaf and Muradin. Muradin being pulled out, Olaf going down. We do see that Caribou runs into a Junkrat trap. Cheglu trying their best to kind of stop him, but no, they'll be Cheglu going down now a little bit too aggressive. That is Repulsion putting Nor and Butte both in dangerous positions. Butte was chased by the dude, but the Peels was chasing down Nor, so not quite a decisive call there, but it still looks like we're going to get a nice double mosh from Peels and Peels. That is Nor going down. Butte going to hold on for as long as they can. Li Ming doesn't quite find the combo they're looking for, and actually Butte is now chasing down the dude and is taken down by the Root themselves. So I was wondering how they went down last time, but it does look like it'll be the game likely going... Oh, Charlemagne left again. It looks like the game will be going over to the side of House of Chez. GG call by both sides, and that'll be the game and the series going over to the side of TRSG, to House of Chez, rather. Right, let me swap on over to the game summary screen. Right. 90k hero damage on Zul'jin compared to 97 from Vala. Vala definitely did work, but just Vikings also 222k siege as opposed to Darkest Night 196. But the Vikings just eventually were going down too quickly, and I think that may have cost TRSG in the end. But a bit hard to say. They still put up a very good showing, and it still was quite late game, despite the kind of kill difference we see here on the board. Right, but in terms of talents, anything that stands out... Not in particular, really. And Snare is something interesting picked up, but I do like the pickup of it. Once again, we're getting back to Haka Tissue Regeneration, constantly fighting build, which is always a fun one to see. And yeah, everything else kind of makes sense. So I'm going to swap over to the game's summary map view screen. As I'm going to tick this off, as it was eventually a 2-1 to the side of House of Chez. They did take... Cursed Hollow and a actually relatively good turnaround. We did then see Garden of Terror picked up in the second match, and that was actually going over TRSG Undead, and then House of Chez did manage to close it out on Dragonshire. that's going to be it for me for a moment. I'm going to actually stop the stream, do a quick few things, and then restart it without a delay, because I do actually like casting without delay if I'm not doing it live and I don't need the delay. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to be back in maybe about 5 to 10